It was about 3 months before the incident that I began to suspect my wife, Chelsea, of her having a secret affair. It all started from a trivial conversation between Chelsea and I.
Oh, huh. Where's my dinner?
Did you say something, honey?
What do you mean, did I say something? I mean, what about our dinner? You didn't make it?
Oh my, I totally forgot. Sorry, but if you're hungry, go to the nearby supermarket and buy some pre-made meals or frozen meals.
Excuse me? A pre-made meal or frozen meal?
Yeah? You don't like the pre-made meals from the supermarket? Or the frozen meals?
Well, no. That's not what I meant exactly.
Chelsea is currently my housewife. But before she married me, she worked as a nutritionist. And probably because she was a nutritionist, she was very particular about the nutritional balance of the meals we eat. And she would usually tell me strictly, "I'll take care of your meals. So don't you ever buy any meals or any ingredients." That's why I felt somewhat off in her words and actions. Well, when Chelsea would get sick, I would sometimes go out to eat out of concern for her health. But this time, she was just sitting on the sofa, staring at her phone forever, sometimes with a somewhat complicated expression, and sometimes with a very happy expression on her face.
Who have you been messaging with on your phone this whole time?
Huh? Oh, friend. Yeah, my friend.
Is your friend a guy? Or a woman?
Oh, of course she's a woman. What? Is there something you want to tell me that's on your mind?
No, it's nothing. I don't want to go to the supermarket. So, instead, I'll make my own dinner.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm going to take a bath first, then go to bed. Good night. Chelsea looked really awkward when I asked about the person she was sending messages to on her phone, and it was so obvious. After 6 years of being married to Chelsea, you can definitely tell. I knew that Chelsea was seeing someone else. After that, I decided to use my savings and go to an investigating agency to investigate about Chelsea's secret affair. I didn't do any research at all beforehand, but the private investigator there seemed to be a very reputable and skilled professional. The investigator was able to find out the evidence of Chelsea's affair, as well as the details like name, address, and place of employment of Chelsea's lover, all in just 2 weeks of research. What was lacking at that time was not the investigator's skill, but my courage and determination. I could not even get myself to question Chelsea for a month, even though I had received solid evidence of her affair from the investigator. But then, another month later, an opportunity arose out of nowhere. I was on my way to the nearest bus station from my office after work. As I was staggering through the chaotic office area, thinking about Chelsea's affair, a man got out of a sedan, parked on the side of the road. He seemed to be trying to buy some water from a vending machine on the sidewalk. I was taken aback after seeing who the man was. He was Chelsea's lover.
Excuse me, may I have a word?
I called out to him without thinking. The act of calling out to him was something I did on a whim and without really thinking about it. But now that I had asked, there was no turning back. I continued the conversation with determination.
Mr. Collins? You are Nigel Collins, right? Yes, but who are you?
My name is Kyle Mead. I'm Chelsea Mead's husband.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, but let me be frank from here. That look on your face says you have something to be guilty of, doesn't it? That means you exactly know why I'm talking to you, don't you?
I don't know. I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, don't pretend you don't know anything and play dumb with me. I've been investigating and looking into the issue for a long time, you know. The fact that you were having an affair with Chelsea, well, you had a wife and a child. And the fact that you met up with Chelsea while you were working as a salesman and went to the hotel. All of it.
What are you planning to do to me?
Oh, well, it's obvious. You're going to have to pay for your sins. I'm going to report this whole thing to your family and to your work. And if you still don't admit what you've done with Chelsea, I'll do whatever it takes, even go to court and fight you about it.
Oh, crap!
Yes, I know how to rise to the occasion when necessary. And seeing me like that, Chelsea's lover was completely intimidated by my intense power. I'm the type of person with low self-esteem, but at this point, I was immersed to an unexplainable sense of superiority and victory as a male. But it also caught me off guard. I had forgotten that I had no car or a bike. But Chelsea's lover had a car. So Chelsea's lover had taken advantage of the opportunity to get away from me in his car, while I was being proud of myself about what I had done. I couldn't keep up with this sudden turn of events, and could only stare off at his car as it drove away with really fast speed. But the next moment, boom! Suddenly, from the gate at the intersection, about 160 feet ahead, there was a loud crash and the sound of destruction. No way! Since I had a really bad feeling about this, I immediately ran towards the direction of the crashing sound. And what I saw was, there, his car was lying upside down, with the front part smashed into pieces. There was a stench of gasoline leaking from the fuel tank. There was also a lot of smoke, as if the electrical system had short-circuited. No one seemed to be involved in the accident, but the onlookers were not going anywhere near the car, since they were scared that the gasoline leaking from the fuel tank would start a fire. Next thing I knew, I was running to Nigel's car. As a victim of my wife having a secret affair, it would have been better for me if Nigel had just passed away right then and there. Fortunately, the driver's side door had been blown off by the impact of the accident, and I was able to pull him out of the car pretty easily, surprisingly. However, his condition was so terrible that it was hard to even look at him directly. I wondered how he could survive in such a state like that. About a month later, Chelsea's attitude towards me changed completely. For the past 2 months or so, not only has she not fulfilled her duties as a housewife, but she had refused to have any intimacy with me. It must have been her way of giving up on her lover, who had suddenly stopped contacting her and trying to make me get in a good mood for her own benefit. Hey, how about having some time with me for tonight after a long time? Oh, what do you mean by that? Oh, come on, honey. It's obvious. Making a baby. For me to get pregnant with your baby, honey. We've been married for 6 years, right? I think it's time for me to have a baby with you.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I'm tired today.
Oh, what? Really? Then when would be a good time for you?
Well, I'm off work the day after tomorrow, so that day would be fine. Since it's going to be just the two of us, why don't we go on a nice date and then spend the night at a nice, luxurious hotel?
Really? Yay! I'm so happy. I'm looking forward to the day after tomorrow then.
What an idiot. She can be carefree like that all she wants. But that won't last long.
And 2 days later, I went out on my first date with Chelsea in a long time. I gave her a good reason, like the restaurant we are going to today has a strict dress code. And on the way there, we went to a rental store for formal wear, and I made her wear a black suit. To that, Chelsea would say this. Hey, Kyle, isn't this suit too plain and dull?
No, it's not. Black is a color that can be used anywhere, you know.
You think so? Since it's a date, I would have preferred something more glamorous, though.
That's enough with that talk. We're almost there anyways.
What? But this area is... Huh? Hey, isn't that a funeral home? Why are we even here for?
Just be quiet and follow me. Well, even if you say you don't want to go, I'll force you to come with me.
Huh? What? I pulled onto Chelsea's arm, who was still confused about the whole situation, and we walked out of the parking lot and into the funeral home. In the funeral home, there were people dressed in black and sobbing, and in contrast to them, a gorgeous altar decorated with colorful flowers. And in the center of the altar was a large, nice photo of a certain person. No way, right? Nigel?
Oh? You didn't know?
He passed away 2 days ago, at midnight, supposedly. He passed away? Nigel passed away? How did he pass away?
He was involved in a car accident. Well, he managed to hang on for a month after the accident, but in the end, he passed away without ever regaining any consciousness.
No! I don't want that! No! I gently looked at Nigel's wife and his parents, who were standing by his coffin. I left the funeral home alone, leaving Chelsea there, who was sobbing loudly, not caring about the strange, awkward looks from the other attendees. I had already informed Nigel's family about his romantic relationship with Chelsea, so there would be no way for Chelsea to avoid the road to hell. After an hour later, Chelsea came back to the car with her hair all messy and her rental suit ripped up. She opened her mouth and urges to me with her wide eyes, spilling tears down her cheeks. Please, forgive me. I was just doing it for fun with Nigel, you know.
I see. But, you know, adultery is not forgiven just because it was just for fun, right?
The only person I love is you. Please, just forgive me.
Did his wife ever talk to you about alimony?
What are you talking about? That's not what I'm talking about. Now listen to me.
Just answer my question. Did Nigel's wife talk to you about alimony?
Eek! Yes, she did.
Does that mean you're trying to get back together with me so that you can pay off for the alimony?
No, I'm not. Actually, I'm really...
How am I supposed to believe you after all this time? You were so upset when you found out your lover was dead. Doesn't that prove that you still have some feelings for him?
Well, that's...
See? You don't even try to deny the fact. All right, that's enough now. Let's just divorce. I'm not that nice enough to spend the rest of my life with a woman who doesn't even love me.
After that, I demanded $2,000 in alimony from Chelsea. It was neither expensive nor cheap, but in reality, it wasn't a bad amount. But instead, I told Nigel's wife to claim for alimony from Chelsea without any hesitation. And in the end, Chelsea had to pay up $5,000 to Nigel's wife for alimony. Thanks to this, Chelsea's share of the property that she was supposed to receive as her share of the property with me disappeared entirely because of that payment, and she ended up being in debt with $3,000. Currently, Chelsea has returned to work as a nutritionist and earns a living on her own. But it seems that the nutritionist's salary is not enough to pay off her debts and her living expenses. So she's been working a couple of other sketchy jobs at night to help pay off her debts. Well, it doesn't matter since I don't feel anything for Chelsea now, and I don't really care if she is unhappy or not. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you again. Please subscribe to our channel.